Hey, how's everyone doing today? Today I'm going to talk about using the OWMR package to pull weather data directly into R. So the first thing you'll want to do is load a couple libraries. The first is going to be the OWMR library. You're going to want to also load in dplyr and tidyverse. We have a couple of objectives that we want to get through today. The first is to attain an API key to actually use the OWMR package. The next is to get the current forecast and also the future forecast for a specific city you're interested in. So the first thing you want to do is obtain an API key from this openweathermap.org. Just go to the website, follow this link, and fill out the information to get an API key. So the first function we're going to use is this function called getCurrent. I have the city as Denver and also the US as metric. Let's run that real quick and see what the results look like. If you run that, it's going to return a list, which is not really convenient. So if you want to take that list and actually pull it into a data frame, you have two options. The first is to manually do that, and the second is to use this OWMR as tipple function. So to manually do that, there's a couple of steps involved. First, you're going to want to unlist A, which is what I called it, which is currently as a list, convert that to a data frame. So let's see what that looks like real quick. So you can see there's still a couple of steps we have left to do. We need to rename this dot, and then we also need to use a function to actually put a variable here, and we're going to want to spread these out into columns. So that's what these two functions do. I'm going to rename that dot to value, and then I'm also going to use this function row names to columns to create a variable just called Bob, and I'm going to spread that out, and then I'll make that a tibble. Then we'll finally get a data frame in a useful manner. That's what it looks like. But this OWMR as tibble is a lot easier to use, just one call, and it produces the same result. So what does the information contain? You can use the name function to see that. So we have like the temperature, the max temperature, the min, what it feels like outside, the wind speed. So you can use a couple functions to get deeper in the data. You can use the head function to see the first couple of rows. You can grab the first 5 columns. But if you're looking at this, it's actually in Celsius. So if we want to write to convert Celsius to Fahrenheit, so this is the formula over here. Basically, you take the Celsius, you times that by 1.8, and then you add 32 to it. I'm just writing a function. It's going to take in a column, and then it's going to times that by 1.8, and then add 32 to it. So I call that convert. So to see an example of this, I'm going to take a data set here, which I call B, and then I'm going to create a new column called temperature Fahrenheit. Use that function, and let's see what it looks like. If you look down here, temperature F, converted that from Celsius, the temperature, to Fahrenheit. You can also use this function search city list, which also pulls multiple cities made with the same name. You can see these are US, so this one down here is Denver. So that's pretty useful for the current forecast, but what if you want to get the future? So you can use the get forecast function. I have as there, same units as metric, and then I'm converting that to a table. So let's see what that looks like. We get more data in. It looks like we're getting by hour now. And the first 6 rows, we're getting the same kind of thing. Temperature in Celsius, humidity, the min temperature and the max. kind of the same example. You can apply that to the temperature and get the Fahrenheit. So what if you want to get just like the average for the whole day for some of these fields? So instead of by hour, you just want the whole day. So first, you need to convert that to a date column. So right now it's stored as a character. So we want to change that to year, month, day, hour, minute, second, and then we're just going to pull out the day. That's what this is doing right here. So run that. So we have the date, and we also want to grab, since we're going to only select the numeric columns, we're going to grab the last row of this, which is the date column. And then down here, we're going to only select the columns that are numeric. And then we're also going to add in that date column. So run this, all my numeric data. And now I want to grab that date. We want to group by that date. The date down here. And then also group by that date. And then we're going to, for all the columns, we're going to use this function called summarize all to do the mean. So we can do this all at one time. So you can see here we now have it by date and temperature in Celsius, the average min, average max, the average Fahrenheit. So that's pretty useful. And what if we want to do, let's say, like convert multiple columns to Fahrenheit all at the same time? It's pretty easy to do. We can use this map function. So what I'm going to do is run this here. And run the map function. So let's take this actually. Sorry about that. So I'm creating this daily average, which basically is the same step up there. And then I'm just grabbing the columns I want to use that function for. So temperature 10, temperature min, temp max. So I want to do this all at one time. I want to convert these three to Fahrenheit. So that's what this map df is doing. So now they're all in Fahrenheit. And then let's say we want to add the date column to it and add everything back. I don't know why this is. Okay, that's working. And then let's add that back. So bind calls. And there we go, we add that back. I don't know why that wasn't working up there. I hope you enjoyed this really quick video. The OWMR package to add in weather data.